Alright, next up in the workshop, Giga-Robo. More giant robots. Hey guys, welcome back. It's another day in paradise. In paradise, I mean quarantine and stuff. So what we're going to do today is we're going to do another giant robot, because they seem to be really popular. He's not a transformer, but he is a Giga-Robo. And Giga-Robo is by Dynamo Games. Here, we'll do that. That's better. So to me, I haven't actually looked at the full game. I wish I could actually take a look at the full game because it looks amazing. It looks like it's a city smashing game. But you can go to Giga-Robo.com right down there and check it out. And again, Dynamo. Cardboard Dynamo. Sorry, I got the name wrong. The art is actually pretty cool too. So he comes unassembled and unpainted, which is the way I like my miniatures, because it gives me a chance to clean them up, put them together, prime them, get everything that I need and ready to go. And it'll be a fun time. No, I'm kind of doing this one in the blind. They gave me the robot, but either I misplaced the instructions or they never had instructions for him. But that's okay. Because we can figure it out. We can make things happen. What we're going to do is we're going to clean up, well, shuffle around the mess that is the paint pit, and we are going to get to work on putting this guy together. Now, he did come with his own base, and the base is okay. It's just a plain base that you can decorate yourself however you choose. That's cool. I've been kind of getting into the scenic bases, you know, where, like I did with Prime. He's on. You know, all the stuff is already there. You just paint it up and send him on his way. Alright. So I'm clipping and cleaning. That's basically what I'm doing. Getting everything ready. Kind of stick them down to the base. Of course, got my trusty toothbrush to help take off any thin flash before we get it into the heavy fixing. Oh, he looks pretty cool. Now it's good solid. Looks to be good solid resin that it's made from. Really shouldn't be that hard to figure out what goes where. It's not that many pieces. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pieces. 6 pieces. If I can't figure out 6 pieces, I need a new line of work. Well, I need a new hobby. But yeah, he's looking pretty cool. So he's actually almost these guys here actually don't have a lot of flash. They don't have a lot of little bits that are hanging off, and I'm actually quite happy for that. It's really nice, really clean. I mean, you have the mold lines. That's fine. You can't get away from mold lines, unfortunately. There are some companies that have minimal amount of mold lines, and there are some companies that have horrendous amount of mold lines. These guys seem to be actually pretty clean. I mean, I can see some mold lines, but they're not, you know, super horrendous. A little bit of scraping, and they'll be gone. Now, all we're doing is we're just filing down kind of making sure we have nice flat surfaces for when we glue him down to the base, which I probably will be doing this time. I mean, unlike Starscream, who just didn't have a base that I liked. So, no, he's pretty good. I'm actually quite thoroughly impressed. Now, if you want to get in there and take out the mold lines, there's nothing wrong with that. You know, keeping it clean. It's just going to be a little scraping. And getting things all nice and cleaned up. Like I said, the mold lines actually on this guy is they're quite good. There's not a lot that I'm going to have to do. This is just, you know, to help me get the dust out of where, or the scrapings out of where I've worked. Oh, there's a couple little pock marks that can be filled with either liquid green stuff or green stuff. But these are small enough. Take a look. I don't know if I can get it to focus, but you can kind of see it on the leg. There we go. Right there. Plain as day. But if that's really the biggest thing that I have to worry about is a couple of holes like that, which we can, you know, change into laser blasts or machine gun. I mean, if you want to fill it in and have it nice and smooth, go ahead. You know, you do you. You know, don't let me tell you what you got to do. So what we're going to do, we're going to take our mercury adhesives, medium, super glue, and we are going to give it a touch on the base, or on the feet. Boom. Just like that. Now, because this is a resin kit, your regular model airplane or styrene plastic is not going to work on this. So you have to go to something a little different. That would be this stuff. Now, I have somewhere, there it is, a wonderful little thing. It's called InstaSet. A lot of you have probably worked with this before, but what it does is it just instantly sets the super glue. And you're ready to rock and roll. So while his base and he's kind of, you know, soaking up, whatever you want to call it, the accelerator, we're going to go on and we're going to start knocking out some of the other pieces here. We're going to start with the arms, because why not? Arms are here. You know, like I said, having the instructions would be cool, would be fun, but we'll make it happen. We'll make it work. No worries there. Like I said, it's pretty standard, pretty straightforward anyway. The thing that we'll have to worry about is cleaning up the attachments. You know, like where it attached to the sprue. And since this is a nice flat surface, no detail, don't have to worry about it a whole lot. Now this has a little bit of mold line on it, but it also has some surface detail. So we just have to be careful with how we do things, how we clean it up. Excuse me very much, if we choose to clean it up. Actually, I'm finding that the arms have the cat hair. It's one of the problems with working around or having a house full of cats. I get cat hair everywhere. I can try and be in a clean zone, but you know what? That stuff gets everywhere. And that's okay. Again, we're just cleaning up the attachment spots that are attached to the sprue. And in doing so, just, you know, makes it a little bit nicer. Cleaning up some of the more noticeable and horrendous looking okay. Alright, whatever. Covers a little bit more of the detail than I was wanting, but what are you going to do? I mean, I could try and blue tack most of this guy together, and then have it as it is. Weird sounds in the studio today. I don't know if you'll pick them up, but if you do, don't worry about it. It's just the ghost. No, I don't know if there's really a ghost. It'd be kind of cool, though. Maybe he could help me put together, or she, help me put together miniatures. That'd be cool. I'd like that. Come downstairs and have a bunch of my miniatures put together. Alright, so move her. I can see how long we got. So there we go. Arms are on. Looks like the camera wants to try and focus on my Voltron shirt, but that's not what we're here for. We're here for Giga-Robo. There we go. Now, some of it I am going to tack together because I'm going to want to get, I don't want to work around it a whole lot. But we'll make do. Make do as best as we can. Now this one I'm going to actually cut back a little bit from right up against the part, so you can kind of see. Whoa, it's the head! But you can kind of see I left some of the flash on there, and I left it on there on purpose. So I can get in there with my hobby knife, potentially cut me, hoping to not cut me, take off the pieces a little nicer. And clean it up. That's what I'm hoping anyway. Let's see what happens. What happens is we send little bits of resin flying, but that's okay. But we're going to have him mostly all cleaned up, ready to go. It'll look okay. very tiny head compared to the rest of the body, but that's okay. It's a chosen aesthetic. It's choices. Personal choices, but it is a choice. There we go. So the head, the arms, and the legs are on base. Which means we're down to the last couple of pieces before we can, let it dry for a little bit. And then we'll come back with it all nice primed and ready to go. The last piece is that piece. Wow. There it is. And that apparently belongs to the giant hammer sickle thing that he's got going on. Well, actually, robots are non-binary. I don't know if it's supposed to be a he robot or a she robot. I mean, you can make it whatever you want it to be. You can be cold and calculating and call it a net if you want to. Choice is yours. Don't let me tell you how to identify your robot. The robots are robots. They do their own thing. And that's okay. That's pretty cool. I like them. Now all we're doing is just tidying up those points. We're joined to the sprue. And that's a studio cat going crazy. Just so you guys are trying to figure out what those noises are. He's running around all wild like. It's time to take him and play some games, I think, after I've done this and waiting for him to dry. It'll be good. There we are. Now all we have to do is figure out well, Looks like we have to do a little bit of repair. We can do that. We have the technology. We have the power. Now, before I put the other part on, I'm going to let this dry for a little bit. Sorry I'm not as animated and super talky and awesome as I have been. I've been kind of, concentrating on this guy. Make sure that we get all the parts that we need to in place. There we go. I was actually kind of surprised that the weapon has such a thin haft, but that's all right. There we go. So when we come back, this fella will be assembled and primed, ready to paint. Kind of like putting together the miniatures, just so that you have an idea, if you don't already, about what goes into putting together your miniatures. And yes, Voltron today. That's the only giant robot shirt I had. Besides my Transformers ones, and we already did those. But in the meantime, and apparently we're still under lockdown, or at least we are here in Alberta, where I am. As people are stupid. But you didn't hear that from me. So I want everybody who's still under lockdown and who is still having to self-quarantine or stay isolated from the outside world, I want you to stay safe, follow precautions, don't go outside unless you absolutely have to, like for groceries and what have you. So until next time, paint safe, and we will see you in the workshop.